Anyway, so I feel like one of the reasons why we don't fit in is that we come from another dimension or another planet or another plane, whatever you want to call it. And some people who channel like higher information, they do that this message comes through that actually we've come here from a different plane, knowing different type of life, because our mission here is to raise the vibration of the planet and bring the planet to the next level, to the through the shift. And this is why it's so hard for us to fit in now, because this is not our normal sort of life or society, or being that we thrive in, so we struggle. But it's kind of like, there is a saying that we are like canaries in the mine, where we are the first ones to notice that things are wrong, which things are wrong, how they need to be changed, and we are going to be the catalyst for the change. And we are, I think, going to be the pioneers and the drivers for that new world, and we're going to be the ones to create that new world.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like definitely interesting different souls that maybe have a hard time like integrating into our bodies, into our human bodies. You feel that way too?
Yeah, yeah, I think some of it might just be trauma, to be honest. Like, I don't want to, I think it's important to balance the woo woo and the the material and logic. Like, sometimes it's hard to be in your body because your body has been through trauma, and it's just hard. um but there's part of it where, yeah, it's hard to be like, I, for example, really struggle to find a place, and I still struggle to find a place where I want to settle, because I've been traveling trying to find a place, because I imagine how my home needs to feel like, and I realized that place doesn't exist on this earth. It's what I'm imagining, what I'm remembering is from a different plane, that I'm not gonna find such a place on this planet. It doesn't exist. So I need to find a place that is, good enough.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think there is a reason why there is so much overlap between people who are neurodivergent, highly sensitive, empathic, um, you know light workers. I think it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all kind of very, very overlapping.
Yeah. And you think energetic sensitivity is like a big part of burnout, where burnout is, there's a lot of if the energy of a place is just very intense, or the energy of the people around you, do you think that like often contributes to burnout?
I think it can. I think it can, if your energy, your vibration doesn't match to the vibration that you are surrounded with. It can contribute to burnout. So this is why it is so important for neurodivergent people in particular to take good care of themselves, even if it's just the physical care. But physical care also helps with, energetic cleansing and things like that. But it's very helpful. And that's why a lot of people who are neurodivergent are also into spirituality and all types of modalities, because that really helps them to clear those vibrations, to clear that, energy that we pick up when we're out, because we are more sensitive, so we're going to pick up much more. And then, it eats it eats us, so we need to do a lot to constantly be cleaning ourselves. But also, it doesn't have to be this way. You can actually build the capacity, build the strength, so you don't pick up things as easily. That's
Hmm.
also possible, and that's something I very much encourage.
Yeah. And do you encourage people to go outdoors and connect back to nature a little more? Because I love personally, I love grounding. I love going into
Mhm.
nature. I feel like that really cleanses my energy. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think nature is very, very powerful, and I think a lot of neurodivergent people can really thrive if they are able to live in nature or be in nature much more. Because that, nature, when it's wild nature, especially, where it's far from any civilization, that can really have very high vibration and help you out. But like, if you don't have that opportunity, like even going to a park or next to a river or a lake or a beach, it can still be helpful. But yeah, if you're able to go a bit, further away, I know like in USA, you definitely have that opportunity. Here in Lithuania as well, we have a lot of wild forests and lakes. So if that's a possibility, then definitely take use of that. make use of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've heard of the telepathy tapes by now.
No,
Oh,
no.
interesting. I should tell you about this. So it's one of the
Okay.
top podcasts on Spotify right now, and
Uh-huh.
it has been for the last year. And it pretty much gets into these stories of nonverbal autistic kids who
Uh-huh.
actually can read their parents' minds, or who
Yeah.
have some like sort of psychic abilities. It's
Mm.
called the telepathy tapes, and
Wow.
it's gaining huge popularity.
Mm.
And they focus mostly on kids, but I think it's interesting because I've met a lot of neurodivergent adults who I feel are very psychic, very intuitive.
Yeah.
Have you felt the same that they have like very strong
Yes.
intuitions? Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Like I have one in my environment, and I am as well like somewhat psychic and intuitive, and I've definitely seen that he is a very high vibration soul. Like he's come from a very different place, and it's like he, he cannot talk because words are very restrictive. He has a much bigger mind and much bigger he's really like out there, and I feel like, yeah, he's super psychic, super intuitive. He knows what is happening. He has no limiting beliefs. He's like, yeah, and his soul, his vibration is really very high, very pure, and it's fantastic what sort of things he does. I can't see that he does directly. He doesn't do directly, like things are happening around him and his family, but I can see that he is kind of, his soul is kind of doing that, if that makes sense. And it's really for the benefit of all humanity. So it's fantastic, like how some of these souls are um yeah so talented and so powerful, and yet at the same time they are seen as kind of the opposite from by some of the people who are here.
Wait, who were you just talking about?
Someone I know personally.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I know like his family and him, and I do see them.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I personally believe that, many of the great geniuses of our time, whether it's
Mm.
Einstein or Steve Jobs or,
Mm.
like Nikola Tesla,
Oh
I
yeah.
think most likely they were all neurodiverse as well. And my
Mm.
perspective is that their circumstances, things kind of fell into place for them to be able to bring out their
Mm.
gifts. And I
Mm.
just think, if we do give neurodivergent people more accommodation and, we do give them the right soil to grow on, I think we can see even more geniuses and masterminds coming up. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, absolutely. We need a better environment, but we also need to empower them with better skills and knowledge. Because
Hmm.
yeah, you can have the best environment, but if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you're gonna be struggling. That was my case. This is why one of the reasons why I started this job, this work
Hmm.
that I do. I had a few jobs, one after the other, that were perfect on the surface. They were really accommodating, really friendly. I was, really doing what I love, and I still burnt out. And then I changed job and I burnt out. And I realized like it's not the environment, it's me. I had such good environment, and I still burnt out. And yet, I still also understand and admit that sometimes environment change does bring relief and is needed. So there's a bit of both. You need to combine both.
Hmm. Totally, totally.